young man is called by his father, and he's an FBA, foundational black American male. He's a teenager at the time. He grows up in a two-parent foundational black American home. At least my assumption is that these are foundational black Americans. If not, I can change the title later. You all can tell me. Because the last name Childs could also indicate they're probably from the Caribbean. But for now, I'm just assuming that they are foundational black Americans. His response to being told he has to leave his girlfriend's home is that when he arrived home, he walked in with a gun and went right into, with the pew-pew, went right into his father and mother's bedroom. Last thing father said, "I'm sorry, such and such," because I won't say his name, "I love you." That wasn't enough for him to see and look in that man's eyes who raised him and know that he really meant what he said. Oh, instead, he took the pew-pew and unalived his own father, then his mother, then tried to unalive all of his siblings. Most of them went. Even the lady who was in the house, who was his brother's girlfriend, who was due to give him a niece or nephew in 2 days because she was heavily pregnant. Her and the baby gone. Only one brother got out of the house, and once he came out of surgery, he said, "My brother did this." And to imagine that at the time, this person, I think, was then 15, now he's 18 years old, grappling with his only living sibling, sitting in prison because he took out the rest of the immediate family. Excuse my washing machine and my dishwasher in the background, y'all, because I thought by now it was getting ready to ramp down. This boy at the time literally walked into his own family's home with a gun and committed the pew-pew because he was told to leave his girlfriend's house. He went to his girlfriend's house, and then when they found out about the shooting, the girlfriend, who was not named, they used her initials, thank goodness, poor woman, asked him did he know anything about the shooting. He initially tells her no, but acts nervous. She, being concerned and worried, wanted to go back to the crime scene with him, and they did. And I don't know, it didn't say whether they spoke to the authorities or not, but she said he was quote unquote acting like a clown. This is when a day or two later he is cuffed because his brother comes to and says, "My brother did this." How you can be named after your father and you can sit and pew-pew him when he told you he loved you is beyond me. In a country where a lot of foundational black Americans, or ADOS, whatever you like to call yourself, have babies together and never marry, you had a home with someone who loved you and you pew-pewed him right after he told you he still loved you. Your brother, who was waiting to be a father in 2 days, begged you not to take his life and said, "Please don't unalive me." I'm paraphrasing. "I'll give you $40. I won't even tell anybody." Pew-pewed him anyway. I'm urging you all, if you're a certain type of person and you haven't kept up with this trial, don't go look at that footage. Because some of the time when you look, he's sitting in court smiling about this. It's sad when, regardless of race, you can raise a psychopath and not know it till it's too late. Because if you can walk in your own family home and take out your parents and most of your siblings, then try to unalive the one that ran out of the house with after being pew-pewed and still try to take him out and he survived surgery, that tells me a lot. You wanted to leave no witnesses. Because see, unalived people cannot talk. This is a psychopath. Because even as a teenager, he was old enough to know better. People love to talk about the girl dad stuff and the father daughter relationship. We need to start dealing with the issues with the father son relationships. It's open season, unfortunately, out here. You can love and care about these kids, and they will still want to take you out just for loving them. You're under your parents' roof and rules. Why would it have been hard for you not to just take your stuff and run away? That's not a favorable thing, but at least they would all still be alive. If you wasn't going to live by his rules, get your stuff and get out. It wouldn't have been that hard for you to do. That's what a lot of FBA and ADOS people have done in the past when they didn't want to live by the rules. Two-parent home or single home, they packed their crap and left. Or they just ran away. Whether the circumstances were bad or good, they left. And I understand somebody will say, well, why are you injecting race into this? Especially given that something similar just happened out here near me in Washington State in Falls City. And that family was Caucasian, and the 11-year-old sister who was shot lived. Or pew-pew. Yep, I got to be careful about that because YouTube can get me. We're talking about a different set of circumstances because the media likes to portray that black men are not in the lives of their children. And yet this man looked him in the eye, likely knowing he was going to be pew-pewed by a son, and still told him he loved him. That's grace. That's class. To know that the child that you had, that you named after you, is sitting right there holding a piece of metal to you and is about to pew-pew you, and you still sit there and say that you love him. This happened January 2021 in Indianapolis, I believe it is, Indiana. I can't give y'all a lecture about what the parents should have done because by all accounts, because this has come up on my feed before, I don't, other than the fact that a video that he made sometime before the unalivings with him bragging about wanting to pew-pew people came out, this by all accounts seemed like a close-knit and loving family. But certain types of people, you just can't love them enough. Because they may still want the worst for you. The brother who lived, I think, is now an adult. Now he has to navigate adulthood as the survivor of something horrific. And he's going to need help for a long time. Again, I can't say I have no words because I've said plenty. I can't give you a talk about how he should have built resilience. A psychopath doesn't want resilience. They want what they want, and they can easily eliminate you when you are in their way. And that music video he made, in some sense, was his way of saying, this is who I really am. But his parents likely took it as art and didn't see him as a threat. Now this girlfriend you so-called unalived your family for, who actually showed remorse and didn't realize that that's what you had intended to do, gonna go on with her life and probably meet someone who's not like you. No pun intended, she dodged a bullet. These stories are way too common. Let's stop blaming the weapons and start blaming the people and their character.